What up, everybody? In the Raising Kanan Season 3 finale, Rock pulled up to a red light when she looked over at the basketball court when something caught her eye. As Ronnie's crew pulled up on Rock, spraying at her Range Rover as Rock mashed the gas to avoid getting shot. And since the finale, there's been a lot of speculation of what Rock was actually looking at on the basketball court. Some people say she saw Unique sitting at the basketball court, which I don't believe for a second. It makes no sense for a man trying to lay low to be hanging out at a public basketball court. The word that he was still alive would have gotten out before sunset. Others have said it was Famous over there playing basketball that she was looking at, but I've zoomed in trying to study this photo, and this definitely wasn't Famous playing basketball. Famous knew about Rock getting shot at because he gets the express line gossip. I also heard it said that nothing in particular caught Rock's eye, but she was looking over at the basketball court, reminiscing about her and Kanan's relationship and the time she made him go back to the court with a sock to whip the kids who were picking on him. Now, this is a theory that I could actually believe, but after taking a minute to think about it, I think that Rock was looking at D Wiz's older brother and his mother. There's also a few clues that point in this direction as well. First being that the woman at the court resembles D Wiz's mother, who we were introduced to Season 1, Episode 3, as Rock went to her house to pray for her after D Wiz was killed. Either though I couldn't confirm this because when I zoomed in on the picture too much, it became blurry, especially also having to look through the gate. But she at least resembles D Wiz's mother enough to open the possibility that it was her. Then keep in mind that she was talking to a guy on the court. I don't want to call him a kid because he looked like he was at least older than Kanan. So this would also line up with the age group of D Wiz's older brother. Then keep in mind how she was pulling on his shirt like she was bothered, worried, or concerned something was going on. Then keep in mind that D Wiz told Rock and Lou about his brother, that his mother was always worried about him because she never knows where he is. That she actually preferred him to be in jail because at least when he's locked up, she knows where he is. Then keep in mind after her other child D Wiz was killed, she's probably gotten worse about worrying about her son all the time and trying to make sure that he's safe. The next clue is perhaps the biggest. Look in the background of the basketball courts and what's behind it. A large project building. Then keep in mind that D Wiz lived in the projects, the same place Kanan and Rock visited when Rock went to pray for D Wiz's mother. Most likely this is the basketball court right next to D Wiz's mother's project building. And she knew that this is probably the only place where she could find D Wiz's older brother. When he shows up at the basketball court, she can find him there to talk to him. Keep it in mind that D Wiz was also a basketball player. And when the former police captain was talking to Howard about the murders of D Wiz and Buck 20, he told Howard that D Wiz, real name Derek, had a promising jump shot and they could have done something with it. So most likely D Wiz got good at basketball, growing up playing at that same court with his wild brother who taught D Wiz how to hoop. So with all the clues pointing in the direction that Rock was looking at D Wiz's brother and mother, why introduce them to the storyline at this point? Because on the current timeline, it's been some year and a half, maybe even more since D Wiz was killed. So it seems a little late to just now trying to seek vengeance on behalf of his brother. But at the same time, we don't know what he's been doing over the last year either. We know at the beginning of Season 1, he had just got out of jail. He had a bunch of gats stashed around the house that Kanan and D Wiz used to kill Buck 20. He was never home, and Rock called him a wild boy. Because the fact that Rock called him a wild boy in Season 1, a lot of people thought there was a good chance that D Wiz's brother would be revealed to be Breeze. But keep this in mind. Rock called him a wild boy. Not a dope boy, not a corner boy, or anything indicating that he was in the drug game. Matter of fact, most drug dealers actually try not to be a wild boy to avoid police attention. More than likely, he's just similar to the type of wild that D Wiz was, probably a lot worse, ready to pop off for little to no reason. He probably also got into a lot of fights and might be into petty crime or even armed robbery. But either way, it's going to be very interesting to see what dynamic that he could possibly introduce to Season 4. As I said before, it's already been a while since D Wiz got killed, and his brother never even as much came around asking Kanan if he knew what happened. Because when Lou picked D Wiz up to take him to the club, D Wiz was actually on the way over to Kanan's to stay the night and watch New Jack City. So if he was really trying to find out what happened to his brother, you would think that Kanan would be the first person he would want to talk to. Because he hasn't even as much as done this yet, I'm thinking there's a good chance that he got locked up again right around the time his brother was killed. and he could possibly have just recently got out again. Getting me to who all knows that Lou killed D Wiz. It's a real short list of Lou, Rock, and Kanan. So if D Wiz's brother came looking for answers from Kanan, would Kanan hold it down for the family again, or would he sell out his Uncle Lou? I'm pretty sure that Kanan would hold it down for Lou if it ever came to this, especially after Kanan just killed Ronnie to save the family. And because Kanan has a close relationship with Lou, I don't see him saying anything, which could also be a problem for him later on if D Wiz's brother finds out that he was lying. Get me to the wild card that could blow everything up here, and that is Jukebox. Keep in mind that as Lulu was picking D Wiz up and convincing him to get in the car and go to the club with him, none other than Jukebox was getting off the bus and saw the whole thing go down. This has never been brought back up since either, and I guarantee you that they didn't show Jukebox getting off that bus and watching the whole thing go down for no reason. Keep it in mind what Kanan said about Jukebox after killing her, as she was always running her mouth. Then keep in mind that Juke doesn't actually know for sure if Lou was responsible for killing D Wiz. So because of this, if D Wiz's brother ever were to ask Jukebox if she knew what happened, she might straight up tell him last time she saw D Wiz, he was getting into the car with Lulu. Also keep in mind that Juke is older than Kanan and his friends and might know D Wiz's older brother from school. And also keep in mind that Jukebox's loyalty to Lou is probably close to nothing at this point, because I could make a whole video on all the times that Lou has let her down. So Juke could potentially be the key to D Wiz's brother finding out the truth and Lou getting put down behind it. Many of us weren't sure if Lou would even make it out of Season 3, and this might be his biggest threat going into Season 4. And there you have it. Leave your thoughts, theories, and predictions in the comments.